Sequel House, episode 1. Take 1.
There's only going to be one take.
Yeah, there'll be lots of editing, but
Lots
still
of
one
editing.
take.
Hello there, I am Jamie Ray, and I'm the host of Sequel House.
Hi, I'm Jeffrey. I'm the other host of Sequel House.
And these are the rules. The movie selected can only be a direct sequel. Therefore, no sequel to, say, Die Hard, but it's okay to do A Good Day to Die Hard.
Also, remakes are okay. So the original Blob is not allowed because you had Son of the Blob, but
Son of a Blob.
Oh boy. But the '88 version, that's totally fine. No sequel to that one.
Right. And with that knowledge, Jeff and I have picked our very first victim title. And that title will be introduced by the other host.
So, actually, it was Jamie who picked this movie.
Yes.
And Jamie picked a movie we both really enjoy, District 9.
Right.
So, real quick summary, and for those who haven't seen it, or if you haven't seen it in a while...
Go watch it, or else this stuff won't make sense.
Yeah, probably not. This probably won't make sense anyways.
Truer words.
So, District 9 released in 2009. It was directed by Neil Blomkamp, written by Blomkamp, and then his wife, Terry Hatchell.
Not Terry Hatchell.
Hatchell.
She's in Star Trek.
Right.
Yeah.
I know her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've seen her Star Trek.
It's actually Tara Farrell, but I was just trying to mess with you. Terry Hatcher
Who's
is
that's
is
Superman.
Lois Clark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I met Terry Farrell. She was the
knows
cat
stuff.
in Red Dwarf.
That's right. The U.S. version, which you could find out if you watch some of our other massive ramblings.
So, from what actually Jamie told me this stuff. So
you're giving me credit.
I am. You taught me something. So Blomkamp was supposed to direct the Halo movie based on the video game Combat Evolved. That fell through. However, I guess his friend.
Well, Peter Jackson was the one who was going to be doing the Halo.
Gotcha. And
he'd made a couple of movies. Peter Jackson had. I can't remember.
Meet the Feebles.
Oh yeah. Oh, and Dead Alive. Right. Okay.
So, anyways, when that fell through, I guess he felt bad for Blomkamp. He's like, "Look, I have $30 million laying around. If you can come up with a script, we can make a movie." So Blomkamp and his wife ran off and wrote District 9. With the $30 million, they shoot the whole thing, and end up making $210 million worldwide.
Almost 211. Yeah. Which is not a bad return.
Right. 30 for 200? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, because that would leave
200.
a lot of money.
Carry the fraction.
Yeah, a lot of money.
Right. So, the cast real quick, and probably going to butcher these names. I apologize to all of South Africa. So, the main character is Charlton Copley, who plays Wikus.
Right.
His wife is played by Vanessa Haywood. You have Kenneth Nkosi as Thomas, and Mandala Gaduka also plays a character who I'm not going to try. Fundiswa.
Yeah. And of course, these are just the MNU people that we're talking about. There's villains, there's bad guys, there's all kinds of other. But we're going to talk about some of those.
Right. And not to discredit or not give credit, there are plenty of people who were the motion capture people who did just as much work as the main characters, giving life to this movie and to the scene.
And the countless pumpkins that were...
What?
And the countless pumpkins that were destroyed and damaged. And that's how they make the prawn sounds.
Oh.
With pumpkins. Like squeaking them together and stuff.
Okay. Really? That was the language?
That was the Foley, as they say. As we say in the biz.
I'm not in the biz. No. So are we... and also... Again, giving credit where credit is due, the scenery of the actual District 9. I think it was a huge part of the film, of the look and the feel that you got from the set. Also the clothing, the things that they had, the props and all that, huge credit to the people who were making those as well.
Right, right. And so, I guess briefly,
Go ahead.
Briefly, the movie is about in the mid 1980s, an alien spaceship shows up and parks itself over Johannesburg, and for 3 months there's nothing. Nobody comes out, no signals, no nothing. So they finally decide to get a group of people together, including Dr. Katrina McKenzie, to go up onto the ship and make first contact. And after they finally, I guess, man, it's like they weld through it, the walls that thick. They get in, what they find is over 1 million of these alien creatures who they start disparagingly call the prawns because they look like shrimps. Shrimpies.
Shrimps.
Large shrimps.
Shrimp.
Yeah. But they're
1 shrimp? 2 shrimp?
3 shrimps.
Is shrimp like sheep? And or you say 2 shrimps?
I don't know. I think you just say shrimps. I don't know. But anyway, so now all of a sudden, Africa, the country, and Johannesburg.
South Africa, the country.
Right.
Africa's a continent. I taught history.
No, I give that to you. You're up there. Thank you for correcting me. So, Africa, the continent, South Africa, the country, Johannesburg, the city.
There we go.
Now automatically have 1.2 million new immigrants that don't speak the language, have no real skills, don't seem to understand any ideas of ownership. And so this movie takes place 20 years later. They had to create an agency called the MNU that is kind of like a version of the UN specifically for these creatures. And they had set up a place called District 9. And they were going to move, and it was all these slums. They were going to move them all into this new place that was pristine and nice, and basically it's just like a tent city. And so this is a documentary filming of the Charlton Copley character, Wikus, and his wife, Tanya. Her dad is like the head. So they give him the job, which right away...
Just a bad idea.
Just a bad idea. Great guy. But as you watch the documentary, you see that he's not the most loving guy, because I don't mean he's not the most accepting of the creatures being there, because his interactions with them they're not mean. They're
right.
He just doesn't see them as being human.
Right. He is more accepting than some.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So you go through the movie, you find out that 2 of these creatures have been finding wreckage, and what they want to do is to use that wreckage to power the ship. But the ship hasn't moved after the command module disappeared. It fell out. Nobody could ever find it. So as you go through and you're rounding up all of these people,
and did we say why they're rounding them up?
Yeah, to move
to
the new district. And he ends up, Wikus ends up finding the module that has all of the fuel in it, and accidentally sprays himself in the face. And over the course of the next 74 hours, he starts to evolve, and his hand ends up getting one of their little tentacle things for it. And there's all of this stuff that goes into it. There's the alien weapons that don't work by humans. You have to get one of the prawns to use them.
Right. But there's gangs that are slowly trying to collect all these weapons that they can't even use.
But one day, hopefully, they do.
Right.
So then we find out that the MNU and the stepfather are actually behind this huge, conspiracy to take the way that he has become half prawn, to use for weapons. So they're going to they end up capturing him, and they figure out how to make the weapons work, and then they're going to basically harvest him.
Right. Because he's the first human who can use these weapons because he has, a prawn arm.
Right.
So he's able to shoot these hugely overpowered guns, nothing like anybody on Earth had seen before.
Yeah. And it manages to escape. They put out, oh my God, they put out the worst smear campaign. Instead of telling everybody he's a bad guy or that he's been infected with a disease. Did you like?
No, that's all you.
He has been copulating with a prawn female and has developed space herpes. And that's why he needs to be caught. Which there's a lovely exchange with his wife. No, I would never do the space porn with a film. What? And the movie culminates with him almost fully evolved.
Right.
It's coming out all over it. And the two aliens, Christopher Johnson, and a very tiny little, who they call CJ, he protects them while they get onto, they're able to take the fuel rod, get back into the command module, go back up into the ship, and they're going to leave. And Christopher Johnson, who is heavily injured in the fight to leave, tells Wikus, I'll be back in 3 years, and we'll be able to fix you, and I'm going to get all of my people saved and everything. And the last footage shows Wikus, and that's it.
He's completely prawn.
No, I'm sorry. The last footage that we see as people watching the documentary is him on the ground with the ships coming, the helicopters coming around him and stuff. And then it comes back to the documentary, and it says no one knows what happens to him. They don't know if he's held in a secret bunker, if he was able to get away, if he fully evolved, what. And then it goes to Tanya, the wife, who is holding a flower that is kind of made out of, I guess...
trash?
Yeah, I was thinking it was made out of, like, cans.
That's what like aluminum cans?
Aluminum
That's
cans
what I thought, too.
And she says she found it on our doorstep. She likes to think that he's still alive. And then the last scene shows a green prawn, and he's making one, and he's kind of holding up. So then we, as the moviegoers, think, he's fully evolved.
Right.
So that's the movie. If you haven't seen it, go out and watch it. I just ruined part of it for you, but
you run the whole thing.
Yeah, but this is Sequel House, so you have to see the movie to get the sequel.
Right.
Now,
I do have some questions now that we're kind of going over this. So did they, and I don't remember if they said, did they explain why all the aliens on the ship were dying or dead?
They were all malnourished.
Okay.
And there were some people that were theorizing. For example, there is a guy named Gray Bradham.
Okay.
He was played by a guy named Jason Cope, who actually did. There are some little parts of speech that Christopher Johnson did, and he played that character, his little voice things as well. Okay. He was the UN's head investigator. He was the one who they would go to and say, he's done all of the research. It's 20 years later. He theorized, along with a sociologist named Sarah Livingston, who was in the first contact team. Basically said that they theorized that these people were immigrants. That their city their planet for whatever reason could no longer keep them, and so somebody theorized that the ship would go to another planet that was habitable, and then the command module will drop down and leave, and basically now this is somebody else's problem. That's kind of what I got of it. So no, there was never any reason, there was no physical reason for them to have been malnourished on the ship, other than there was no more food provided for them.
Okay, so then I guess my second follow-up question is, I guess And my theory would be that when the command module came out, that's why they couldn't land or open the doors to...
Or communicate or anything.
Okay, so they're kind of stuck in their own ship.
Right.
Because the command module fell.
Right, instead of dropping out and leaving. Again, this is all conjecture, because they don't know, okay?
So when the command module fell, this is more of an accident. This wasn't supposed to happen. Yeah. It was supposed to detach, but do other things.
That's what I theorized. Okay. They were basically dropping off all these people at the bus stop and leaving.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I got out of it. Okay.
Okay. See, I didn't I didn't think of it that way. I thought of, hey, we're coming to this planet, and it's not just like, here, take these people. It's like, hey, we came to join and.
Yeah. So I'm going to get into in my thoughts for the sequel. I'm going to get into why this happened the way that it did.
Gotcha.
Okay, and how some of the thoughts from the first movie are maybe later on proved to not be exactly correct.
Gotcha. I have one more question. It's quick. Is CJ a child or just a smaller version of the prawn?
He is referred to as a child.
Okay.
Because he calls Christopher Papa or Daddy. Okay, in a couple of exchanges. So it's his son. Plus, added to the fact of the way that he treats him.
Yeah.
You know, he's always like protecting him and like, you know.
So but he was the only like child that we ever saw, right?
We saw, but we know that there were more because they talk about the fact that now we did see children in some other places. I think when they were like scourging in the, you know, but no, by and large, and they basically had an child unaliving squad. Because there's a whole scene where...
I don't remember this one.
Where the prawns will take a cow and use parts of it to nourish eggs to develop new prawns.
Right.
And...
they go in and just...
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and you hear the popping noise.
That's right.
Yeah. Which is one of the reasons I was saying that he wasn't really very compassionate toward them, because he's like, oh, it makes like a popcorn noise.
That's
like,
right.
Yeah. And even later in the movie, when he is in need of their help, because no one else is going to help him, he's still kind of, you know, you're a prawn. Even I've got this huge prawn arm.
Right,
I'm still better than you are.
Okay.
But it changes. So anyway, so here is what I am going to call, simply put, District 10. Okay? Just like they were doing Blue Harvest when they were doing Star Wars, they have a name. You know, the working title was called District 10, D10, My Stepdad's a Space Shrimp.
So good.
So good. But actually the tagline is going to be, Here Comes the Neighborhood.
And again, that's even better than your secret Blue Harvest name. Here comes the neighborhood.
Here comes the neighborhood.
Instead of there goes the neighborhood.
That's it.
Yep.
So this movie will have been produced and shot and also staged in the year 2014. Now, the movie was supposed to be 2009. And with Christopher Johnson and CJ left, they said it'd take us 3 years to get to our to our planet and come back. Okay?
Right.
So that right there is one of the reasons why I think the way that everybody thought that these were the dregs of this society and they were being dropped off and left isn't correct. Okay?
Okay. Go on.
I am going to theorize that these people were rebels, resistance, something, and that there was a war on their original planet.
Okay.
And that these people were escaping that planet.
Okay, based on what?
We're going to get there.
Okay,
because
cool.
It's based on my script, is what makes me say this. So,
okay.
So 3 years go past. 4 years goes past. They've never shown back up. Now, no one else is expecting them because us as the viewer saw Wikus and Christopher have this exchange. Mm-hmm. Okay? And then we think at the end of the movie that Wikus is a 100% prawn. Okay?
Right.
So, as the viewers, we come in thinking, wait, it's been 4 years now, nothing's happened. Okay? So, in the meantime, you have the character Fundiswa, who was in prison awaiting trial at the end of the documentary for revealing the secrets of the MNU. Okay, so they had arrested him and had him up on charges.
Okay.
You also see that Gray Bradham, who was the investigator, he was out there free. Sarah Livingston was free, and Dr. Katrina McKenzie were also free.
They have been freed?
No, they were just, aside from Fundiswa, they were not in any trouble. Okay.
Got it.
All right. So the movie for us will pick up where the trial of Fundiswa has finally finished, and he has been freed.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So as he is released, then we get a new reporter. Her name is Uche Atomi.
Okay.
Okay, she is a Johannesburg investigative reporter, not like the UN's correspondent.
And this is a new character.
This is a new character. She's going to be played by Carmen Ajogo, who is an actress who played Alex Cross's wife in Tyler Perry's Alex Cross movie. Okay. Again, I tried to choose South African and African actors and actresses for
Sounds
this.
good.
So she has been, for the last 4 years, totally in on this project because her birth father, okay, was the MNU's CEO, Ditska Michaels, who was shown in the movie.
Okay.
And he's spreading disinformation and everything. So she has a personal vendetta because he left her and her mother. You know, typical, we grew up on the streets because our rich daddy didn't want anything to do with us.
Gotcha.
So she is trying to investigate and get the real story.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm going to assume that mom and dad weren't married at the time.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, yeah, this was a side.
Right. I'm a high CEO. And
Gotcha. He probably had a real not a real family, but another family that he was married to. Okay, cool.
Yeah, kind of cool backline.
Right.
So she is then, now, and the important thing about this movie is that this is not a documentary style movie. This takes its whole thing because
I don't know how I feel about this.
Well, it's because, do we want another found footage?
Okay, but District 9, yes, it wasn't a found footage. It had that.
It was a largely found footage. Okay.
Yes.
But I just want to take it in a different, and it's my sequel.
That's fine.
So you get what's on your plate. Okay?
I'll eat what I've been served.
You eat what you'll be served. So she then...
I don't know if I like that catchphrase.
Eat what you're served.
Eat what you're served. That's going to be the shirt.
Eat what you're served. So she starts investigating and discovers that that the MNU CEO Michaels has gone missing, gone dark, because of all of the things that came out.
Sure.
And the new head of the company called the... what is it called? Tetraval. Tetraval Company.
Tetraval.
You found out that because of everything happening in this company has secretly acquired them. Okay?
Acquired who?
MNU.
Okay.
And their new CEO, who's Katarina Bosman, played by Charlize Theron.
Okay. And again, this is another new character.
New character.
Cool.
She is now head of it, knows all of the dark secrets, but she's the new fresh face that people are going to trust because nobody trusts the MNU anymore.
Right.
Okay?
We're rebranding this.
Exactly.
Okay,
rebranding.
cool.
So you find out along the way that she is everything and more than the former MNU director ever was.
Like, as in
She's
more...
worse.
Okay,
So
that was
much
my
worse.
question.
And in this movie, you find out that the CEO Bosman has made a deal with a new Nigerian warlord named Tompolo, played by Barkhad Abdi. And if you don't know who that is... No. I am the captain now.
Oh, that guy.
I'm Captain Phillips.
Yeah, okay.
And again, because of the rules, these are all actors who were all acting at that time and could play these characters.
Wonderful.
Okay. So we understand now all this stuff that's going on. Okay?
Okay.
So the elevator pitch of the movie is that the new Itomi, the investigative reporter,
Right.
starts to uncover all of this stuff. And along the way, She meets up with Sarah Livingston from the First Contact group. She meets up with Gray Bradham, who was the UN correspondence guy. She meets up with the now freed Fundiswa, who was the right-hand man of, and all of these people, and they all know that something else is going on. So they go out and they start to try to uncover what happened. And along the way, while going through all of the research, they start to notice that the prawns are different colors. You've got some that are red, some that are yellow, some that are kind of mixed.
Right.
And then we see that our boy Wikus was completely green at the end of the last movie.
Right.
So what you're thinking of, oh, that's the different races. And no, what you find out is that those are the different class systems. But not in the normal class that we have a bad connotation to it. Is these people are grown up and their family, all their lineage has taught them, these are engineers. These are artisans. These are all of these things. And when they all got into this, the ship and came here, all of that was lost to them. So they had nothing. So when they got here, it was a decision made by the leader of the resistance, who we find out was Christopher Johnson.
Oh.
Okay?
Okay.
And it was, get down to this planet. We have no way right now of getting back. And just be stupid. Don't do anything to show any sort of intelligence amongst these humans, because they will probably try to take us and do what. Just act like nothing, act like go on, and we're going to work on a plan. Well, it was 20 years before that plan came to fruition. So a lot of the ones that we see who are like selling their weapons for cans of cat food and all that, they've all pretty much given up. That this is their only life that they're ever going to have. So while all of this is happening, they come across Wikus, who now goes by the name, as a prawn, of John Hancock. Because they all had these really weird, strange, very simple names.
Right.
Okay? And you find out that because of the unique anatomy that he had with the spray, he has now been able to, he's basically a lycanthrope. So he can change from his prawn back to his human self. Okay? But he's still wanted. People still are looking for him, so he can't go out.
But as a human.
As a human.
Okay, cool.
So with this, he has been working with the prawns who are now in District 10, the little white city and all of this stuff, to help them plan a revolt. Not a revolt, but a revolution. Because Christopher and CJ are coming back. They're coming back with a new ship, and we're gonna be ready to rise up and leave and go to a better place. Okay? So secretly he's been working with them. And some of those prawns have now been on a work release program. So you've got some that are working at cleaning the streets, or working as simple people in factories.
Yeah.
But they're all actually very intelligent and now have access to more technology than they ever had before on this planet. Okay? And if you remember, Paul and Christopher used all of this Earth technology to do all of the things they did to get the fuel.
Yeah.
So they've all been doing this to set up networks so that they can talk to the other groups and all this. So they're all basically ready as soon as the ship shows up. Well, 3 years go by, 4 years go by, and this is the 5th year. So now everybody's kind of like, okay, what's going on? So
at this point, when we get to 4.5 years, are the other prawns who are waiting for this return, are they now like angry or like they're untrusting, like, hey, this isn't going to happen?
And they're like, you know what? This is great. This kind of leads back to kind of a feel of the conquest of the Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
In that they've been told by this human, even though he's prawn, that this human, and that they tell there's no green. He is the first green. He's the first green. Okay, prawn.
Is that
because of his physiology?
okay? In District 9,
the
there
very
was no
end.
other greens,
Everybody had little shades of stuff.
but he was like
He
green.
was all green. There were some all yellow, some all red. As a matter of fact, very early on, you can see them playing kind of like a kickball type thing. And there's a red one, there's a yellow one, there's an orange one. There's no blue, I think. But anyway, so they see him kind of as a figure, like, I don't want to say a messiah, but like he's the all green one, Okay?
He's Hal Jordan.
He's Hal Jordan, exactly. So while all this is happening, the four main people who are now trying to investigate, they stumble upon Wikus as a human, and they instantly recognize who he is. So they start finding him. They piece the things together. And at the end of the second act of the movie, they've all got together, and because he trusted his friend, Fundizwa, he changes, goes back to himself, and explains the whole situation. And this is why it wouldn't work as a documentary.
Okay.
So
That's fine.
So as he's telling all of this stuff, at about that time, the ship starts to show back up. Okay?
Awesome.
But now, because it's been 25 almost years since we've had an alien ship show up, there's all of these defenses and everything up, like Star Wars up in the sky. Okay, and so now you've got at the beginning of the third act through the end, you've got the governments of the world now, because they're worried about who's going to show up on our doorstep next time. And it's not just one ship; it's like 3 or 4 ships.
Yeah.
And as the screen comes up to make the first contact, it's not Christopher. Christopher's died. It's CJ, who is now the leader of this rebellion.
Okay.
And it took 4.5 years, because when they finally got back, the war was still going on, but because they had this ship that had all of this data and technology and everything in this little...
That they had taken from Earth?
Right. No, that they had, but they had been disconnected from it from 20 years. So they come back, and now they're able to take all of the rebellion and resistance fighters that were still alive, they take them onto the ship, and now they've come back with some other smaller ships, and everybody's like, oh crap, they're fixing to kill us all. So we go up to near the end of this movie, and all of these things are going on. And Charlize Theron's character and the warlord Tompalu, they're all looking to use these weapons and fight off and all of this stuff. And in the end, they don't want any of that. They come down, they take all of their prawn people, and they take Wikus, they take Fundizwa, who wants to go with them. They take that little core group, except for Itomi, who wants to stay and tell the story.
Okay.
And then they just pick up and they leave. And they've left the world that could have been had the benefit of all of their technological advancements. They leave them in the dust, basically, and they go on to find another world where they can live their life now,
Right.
away from the war of their home planet and away from the poverty and everything of this planet. And that's the end of the movie.
Okay.
No grand battles that everybody was expecting.
Right.
And in the end, they're all infighting and everything. You find out that so this is now I'm going to go off a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. So we already talked about the different colors. Okay. They're you think that they're just race, but they're actually built into kind of like they're really actually can be very smart. Okay. Not a documentary style. At this point, there are 2.5 million people prawns, and at the end of the movie, when it's been 20-something years, there's now over 5 million of them. So all of these people get back up into the ships.
See, I would have thought the numbers would have gone down.
Yeah.
Just because of the environment that they're forced to live in. And I also imagine that, when they try, because during District 9, they're trying to move all these, and there's lots of them that get murdered. I would also I would have thought it would have gone down as they moved them into 10. More of them would have died. But I guess if you have a nicer District 10 with better accommodations, they could have grown.
Well, part of it, and it gets addressed. That's a good point. But I did bring everything up. But part of it is that after the events of District 9, and because of the trial, all of the ways that they were treated, the prawns were treated, and now everyone in the world, and the UN and all of the different groups that help immigrants and refugees and stuff, so they've all been made aware of it. So all of those practices had to stop. So they basically, over the last 4.5 years, have increased their population, increased their the size of what they're doing, and now they have the jobs to go out. So now all of the signs where they were like no prawns allowed, all of that stuff has changed, and because people know, they're benevolent, which they are, but at the same time, they're gathering their plans on how they can rise up if they need to, because the group's not coming back for them. And so when the group comes back for them, I kind of foresee a whole big thing where, kind of like in Conquest, they all do rise up. They, either slay or imprison the bad people, and everybody thinks it's going to be an all-out war, and then the ship just goes and takes them and they leave.
Okay.
And it's hey, we all along were better people than you were.
Nice. I have lots of thoughts and questions.
Go right ahead.
So, do any of the prawns go to other countries or continents? As you get these groups that are like, oh, look, we need to help them out, do any countries take them in?
I would think that the way the world works now, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that at first some, especially countries who could use the labor force. Okay?
I bet you there's like a lot of farming countries.
Yeah, and miners and stuff like that,
How adaptable, and again, I don't know if there's an answer to this, how adaptable are the prawns to the cold?
I would still think that the prawns are not that adaptable to the cold.
Okay.
Just like, even though they look like shrimp, they're not aquatic creatures.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and make a leap here and say no, they don't work in the cold planet, because Johannesburg, the reason they stopped there was because the arid and hot temperatures were most like their home.
Okay. I was just thinking, theorizing, like I could see Russia taking them in to work in the mines in Siberia, like those kind of places where that there are minerals, there are resources, but it's so inhabitable.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
But I think also that there are other places in the world, especially South America, maybe, where there are places that can be mined that would probably benefit from those. Working in the oil fields in Saudi Arabia and those areas. Okay. That's good. That's what I need a script group to work with me for. I'm no Neil Blomkamp and his wife.
Fair enough. Okay, so from your elevator pitch, from your script, it seems like a lot of the focus is on the humans' characters. You've got that core group of 4. Yeah, they find Wikus and all that. How much of the movie is actually showing in District 10 and showing the prawns as opposed to this core group finding out?
I would say it was very balanced, actually.
Okay.
Because one of the things that you're going to be seeing a lot of is John Hancock but working to convert the prawns to understand that, the stuff that we've done for the last 20 years does not work anymore. They are coming back for us.
Okay.
We need to be ready. We need to not live in this slum. We need to be... And then there is a group inside of them that, now that they've found their voice, that they've seen them leave, and they know at the beginning that they're coming back for them. They're like, okay, we could stop being these, cat food fighting over type people. Okay. So I think you're going to... I can kind of envision you seeing some of that. A good bit of it. Okay. There also has to be a part where they that little core group of humans uncover what's actually going on, and I hate when you have 5 people in a group and they're all working for the good thing, and then they find it, and then one of them's a bad guy. And I understand that trope, but that's not what's going to happen in this movie.
Okay.
All 4 of them really, really want to do what's best for the prawn.
Okay.
And so when it gets to that and they find it, and then when they uncover that Wikus is still alive, there's also supposed to be a scene in there where Tanya comes back, and she's his wife.
Okay.
And she's never given up hope that he's still alive, because over the last 4 years, he's been leaving her flowers. She's never been able to catch him. But, because at that time, there wasn't really Ring cameras and stuff.
Okay.
Okay? But she's always held out hope that it was still him. And so there's going to be a scene when she's in the bedroom, when they come to talk to her and say, this is what's going on, that she goes into the bedroom and there's these little flowers all everywhere.
Nice.
Because the way she held onto the paper mache bowl that he had made for her and some other things, she was just very, very much in love. And she never really wanted to believe what her father was trying to convince her of, which was one of the reasons why he never gave up hope. When she called him and said, I want us to be together. And that's what invigorated him to go, okay, I'm going to go back and we're going to get on the ship, and it's going to take me 3 years, but I'm going to come back and we're going to make this right. And of course he doesn't get to the ship. So.
Okay.
Keep coming.
So, again, going off what you're saying, does Wikus live? Does he make it onto the ship?
Yes.
Or, and okay, you said yes, but or is there that dramatic scene where like they're all going to the ship, and your bad guys, your Charlize Theron and her group are trying to chase them down, and he dies and doesn't make it to the ship?
I think I would rather see all of that. That she and and I will say too that there have been maybe you could do like a Weapon X thing where this Tetraval company has taken the prawns and been able to put like almost remote controls inside of them. So they've made prawn soldiers who can use the prawn weapons.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Sure.
Now, fun fact, okay, I don't know how this would work as a crossover, but after this movie, Neil Blomkamp made another movie called Chappie.
Right.
That also takes place in Johannesburg. That takes place in 2016. And the company that the Hugh Jackman character worked for is Tetraval. Okay? So, I would like to have a little in-universe thing that the Charlize Theron, that they take that technology that they used on the prawn and later on are using it in Chappie. Now, I know that doesn't make a lot of sense because in Chappie they don't talk about the aliens invasion or anything like that.
But still,
I just thought it would be
As
kind
a
of a little nod that he, has both of these incredible movies. And Charlton does the voice of Chappie.
Yeah.
In Chappie. So I just thought it would be kind of a little, wink, wink, nod, nod.
Nice.
That it's kind of the same universe. So I think all of these characters, the prawn robotic, the humans, all that are all getting onto the area where all the prawns have come back, and they're ready for this super fight, and they throw everything they have at them, and the prawns don't do anything back to them. That it's all shielding, it's all like a pulse maybe that knocks out their own weapons, because hey, we created those guns. We have off switches.
Yeah, an
and
EMP kind of thing.
Exactly. And I know that this doesn't give the summer blockbuster feel.
Right.
Okay. But I think that sometimes the message is we are better people, even though we're not a human. And we don't have to, we left this world over here because we didn't want to fight anymore. We wanted to live in peace. We're not going to do the same thing to this world. We're going to take our people now, and we're going to go and find. And they end up on a little desert planet called Tatooine. Sure. And by this time, since it was a long, long time ago, there's nobody living there. So
right. Wonderful. I'm okay with this. Okay. I'm totally fine with this. I'm totally fine with the not having the big blockbuster ending. I think you're going to have a good way of driving that message that you want home. Mm-hmm. Especially, and it may be difficult because half of your cast doesn't speak in a language we can understand.
Right, but what you found out in D9 and now in D10 is that they all fully understand. Mm-hmm. Okay, and now they've taken some of this very simple technology and made translators.
Okay.
So they physically can't make the noises that make our words.
But do they have like a box that
something that's
like
not small? It has to be,
right,
because they're taking old PCs and FM radio parts and putting it all together to make. But there is a way for them to communicate it.
What would be neat is if they found in drive-in movie theaters, the little boxes. I know you have one around here
right
somewhere.
Here. Right there.
Right. If
they're using that.
They have a bandolier that's got one of those, and that's what communicates.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. I love that. See, that's why I would need a co-writer.
Right.
Yeah. So if you know anybody good, let me know.
No.
So anyway, that's District 10.
It is definitely not what I would have done. Mm-hmm.
Do you want to pitch what you would have done?
No, because I didn't even. This was your movie, and the way we set up Sequel House is that you're going to come up with it. So therefore, I was like, look, I don't need to come up with it. I just need to be an active listener, and then come up with the questions and try and build upon what you're doing.
Okay.
So I purposely didn't think of something.
Yeah.
But this was not what I would have come up with at all.
Well, there you go. I just didn't want to do. So you look at you go back and you look at. We chose Danny Boyle to direct this movie.
Did you say that?
I think I did, but if not, it's Danny Boyle.
Right.
And this is 2014.
Okay.
Okay. So this is after he made 28 Days Later, but between when he made 127 Hours and T2 Trainspotting, the Trainspotting sequel.
Right.
So he's coming off. He's a very well-known and appreciated director at this time. Trainspotting was just, it's out there.
Yep.
28 Days Later, not a zombie movie, but a rage movie. And so he would have some ideas.
I like that you said that because didn't you have a Fave 5 where you couldn't include it because it wasn't a zombie movie?
Not a zombie movie.
Okay.
Because you could kill them by any means. It doesn't have to be a headshot. So it's not truly a zombie.
Not a zombie movie.
But I think that he, of course, being a lot better at this than I am, would come in and take this general idea and do something with it. But I also think he wouldn't have the huge Independence Day style blow up at the end of the movie either. That he would have a very intelligent, sharp, and
right.
just very refined ending to it that wouldn't end with our guns are bigger than your guns. Which is kind of what I would like to see. It's not that we're more powerful than you are, that we're smarter than you are, that we have better weapons than you are. It's that we're better people. And we don't have to kill all of you to get what we want. We could rise up right now and take over, huge cities and, have the world at our we don't want that. We want to go somewhere and live in peace. And this is not the neighborhood that we want to live in. So.
Neat.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Would you go see it knowing that?
I would go see
any movie that I make.
Oh my.
I bought a Vampire Motorcycle Part 2.
No, I wouldn't.
I would get Anthony Daniels back.
What was I would see almost anything directed by Danny Boyle, and just about anything that Blomkamp would write. I've seen, I'm sure, the majority of them. Yeah. I would definitely go see this, and just as a sequel to District 9, I would go see it.
Would you leave disappointed?
I don't think so, but it also depends on how well that last that last scene hits.
Yeah.
You know, it's got to be done right. It's got to be the message of, hey, like you said, we didn't want to kill you all. We just want to live in peace. If that message could come across right, I think you people leave satisfied.
Yeah.
So it would be a difficult task to do.
Yeah.
But I think it could be done.
And, I think that for the action hounds out there, that Boyle could do a lot in the first 2 acts with, here's the stuff with the warlords doing. How do we go against that? Here's the stuff that the prawns that are now out in society working. They're going to, there'll be things that happen with them. So I think that we would do a lot of action. And then in my mind, the culminating scene would be one of these where, they've got all of these people together and boom, here's the ship.
Yeah.
That's gone through everything without a scratch. And are we going to shoot all of our missiles and ray guns and kill everyone? No, we're just going to take our people and go to a better place.
Okay.
So, there you go.
So, here's my final question for you.
Okay.
So you have you get your message, it hits, your credits roll. What is your after the credits scene?
That's very good. I think what you would see was you'd see a Tommy and probably
Tommy being our
the lead investigator woman,
right,
would be at a with her mom and with Gray Broadham, who was the UN who didn't go with them. They're all meeting at a shawarma house, just kind of sitting around.
Really? Mm-hmm. And is somebody covering up their?
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's got
so that they didn't have to edit out his mustache.
His beard, yeah.
So you're gonna just steal from the Avengers.
Steal from the Avengers. And if I'm not mistaken, wouldn't that be right around the time that the Avengers came out? Because if this is 2014, 2015, it's been 12 years now.
Sure.
So it would be right around that time. It would have already come out, maybe, but still.
I appreciate it, as cheesy as that would be.
Yeah. Now, I don't know. That's a good question. You caught me unprepared.
Great.
So I guess if I wanted to say a real after credit would be, would have to be around Atomi and Gray and Bradham and maybe her mom, and the mom is just, I knew you had it in you, it doesn't matter that what started out to disparage your father. What you did was bring light to all of these good creatures, and you're a better person for it, type deal.
Got it.
And then they're eating shawarma.
Got it.
Yeah. And that's D10. Here comes the neighborhood.
Or what was your other one?
My stepdad is a shrimp.
There you go. Jeez.
Have you ever seen my stepmom as
an alien with Aykroyd?
Yeah, and Kim Basinger.
Yeah, I have seen it. I think I saw it once, and
that's enough.
That was enough.
I don't know. She was pretty doggone hot in that movie.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So up next,
it is my turn to choose a movie. And the movie that, probably to Jamie's regret, that I'm choosing is Masters of the Universe, the He-Man movie.
From 1987?
Yes.
Okay, with Dolph Lundgren. Frank Langella.
Oof. So good.
So good. You ever see him as Dracula?
I have not.
Yeah, he plays a good Dracula.
All right.
Yeah. So what is the sequel to Masters of the Universe?
The sequel to Masters of the Universe is going to be Masters of the Universe Battle for Eternia.
Okay. And one last question.
Okay.
When is it released?
Oh, it's like, I think it takes like 3 years to make a movie. Okay. So, 3 years, so 1990.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
Right after.
Well, I can't wait to see that. We're going to do that next month, probably.
Right.
Because here on the Plastic Microphone Studios, we are going to come out once a month whenever we feel like it, but probably have a date later.
Right.
Yeah. So
cool.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you liked it. Next time I'll bring the popcorn.
We can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And remember, folks, find us wherever you get your podcasts.
And get ready to enter the sequel house.
Where even bad movies get a second chance. See you next month, sequel seekers. And remember, eat what you're given.
Eat what you're served.
Eat what you're served. That's going to be a t-shirt.
Yeah. That was good. Did you hit the record button?
No, I forgot.